Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you and welcome to this session, another editorial for you all. Please let me know if I'm properly audible and visible. I wasn't even sure that I'm online already. जल्दी से एक बार confirm करो. Everything looks good. So this is the article today that we have from the Indian Express and not from the Hindu. I was going through the editorial and a lot of politics and all. I thought let's do something different. So this is today's article, and this is from the newspaper, the English, the Indian Express, English Express बोल रही थी. Okay, so those who are watching me for the first time, my name is Niharika John Mehra, and I am your faculty of English here on CGB Mentors. We are having regular sessions, जो कि editorial analysis के sessions हैं यहाँ पे Monday to Saturday, 8 p.m. and we are doing a lot of things here. Segments कुछ इस तरीके से हैं. We start with skimming. That's your time to practice the skill where you are skipping some words and reading, trying to capture only the important words and through that the meaning that is being conveyed in a passage. यही चीज आपको एग्जाम में replicate करनी होती है. This is how you read speedily and you are able to complete your exam and answer all the questions in time. Skimming के साथ साथ we are doing comprehension where I explain things to you. We have vocabulary section where we go through some important words and phrases. Then we have some grammar practice where I do ask some questions related to grammar rules. Not many, but for grammar rules, the main thing is you need to keep revising them. And पूरा का पूरा chapter revise करने बैठो. Some people may find it very mundane. So better we do it this way, a quiz के format में. Then we have summary and post that some questions, objective questions, exam angle, and that's how we end the session every time we take this editorial analysis. I hope that some of you are already familiar, but this was for all those who आज first time देख रहे हैं. So now you need to make sure you are regular to the classes. अगर नए हो subscribe कर लो. If you have already subscribed, then those new and old, please make sure to like and share the session. We are going to start with skimming. The concept of skimming is, or why we need to skim is, we cannot put a lot of time into reading alone in our exam. You people are reading editorial, most of you, because you have to crack an exam. I think hardly there are people just because they want to spend some leisure time they are reading editorials. Okay, so the fact is we need to train our mind to try and focus important words and go through them, not each and everything. Also, you need to stop translating the sentences into your own mother tongue so that you get the essence of it. Try and understand things in English itself. I'll just demonstrate this and then I will give you some time to read. Delhi's Clean Air Program. So, Delhi's Clean Air Program should focus on air quality monitoring, checking dust emissions. If this is the line, this is focus on monitoring, and what should focus? This clean air program must focus. This is the main information here. Second sentence, this is your subheading. So, studies show that curbing pollutants of large size can improve quality. Air quality की बात हो रही, so I don't need to read air. I already now know that when it's quality, it's like air quality by as much as 50%. So a lot. Now I don't need to remember figures. I don't need to remember the names. I don't need to read जो भी बड़े नाम होते जिनके acronym दिए हुए हैं. So certain words are there to give you more idea. If asked in question, you go back to the place जहाँ पर आपने वो number या नाम पढ़ा था and you read properly. Otherwise, for main theme, for summary, for the tone of the passage, all such questions you can easily do just through understanding the passage in a rough way where you understand first of all, is it written positively, negatively, or it has neutral tone. Secondly, what is the main message out of this? That's what I'm going to ask after you are done skimming. तो आपकी skimming होते से आप लोग यहाँ पर मुझे एक कमेंट भेजोगे चैट में, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी what is the main theme of the passage. Okay, it's not the title, it's not something, but after reading, what do you receive? Okay, what's the main message author wanted to convey to the readers? तो अभी आपके सामने टाइमर आएगा. I'll scroll for you as well. So there you go. You're gonna get 2.5 minutes. Please start skimming. It's a lengthier one today. Slightly lengthier. Okay, gave you a couple of extra seconds considering कि आप लोग यहाँ पे पढ़ रहे होंगे since it was slightly lengthier. Now, we'll start with what the you need to answer this by the way while I explain. सुनते जाओ, but एक छोटा सा type कर दो chat. What is the message you get from this? Okay, so Delhi's clean air program should focus on air quality monitoring. So there is a suggestion in the title itself by the author. Checking dust emission study show that curbing pollutants of larger size, बड़े वाले pollutants जो हैं उन्हें अगर हम curb करें, that can improve air quality by 50%. So halfway through हो जाता है only targeting if we in case we only target the larger size. So Delhi's new government has listed air pollution control as one of its priority concerns. Okay, so maybe they gained a lot of vote on promising on this thing. It must now devise an effective plan, make a plan, and put words into action. That means now promises are supposed to be fulfilled. For starters, it should learn from its predecessors' experiences and failures. So, whenever we want to begin something, we can use this phrase for starters, okay, from where one can start a process. So, the new government should learn from the predecessors' experience, the government that was before them, and from their failure. The AAP government acknowledged the complexity of Delhi's air pollution problem, but often used that to paper over its abdications. Important thing to learn. Paper over, first of all. This is a phrase that means kind of hiding. An abdication is where you leave the post, leave your responsibility. So what do we get here is that the AAP government acknowledges the complexity of air pollution problem. They know. They say yes, it is there, but they didn't do much about it. They often used that to they mention this thing just to hide and run away from the responsibilities as per the author. The locations of air quality monitoring stations in the capital, for instance, for example, so the locations of the monitoring stations did not fulfill the requirements laid down by CPCB. So I don't have to go in depth and read Central Pollution Control Board. Many of you may already know what CPCB is. This revelation is part of a report that wasn't tabled in the Delhi Assembly by the city's previous dispensation. So ये कुछ ऐसा है जो पहले disclose नहीं करा गया था. The report, which was finally discussed in the assembly in the first week of this month, notes. So the latest report says that the city's air quality index was calculated without proper data. So now there is a claim that there was no proper data when they were calculating. Another analysis by the non-profit Center for Research on Energy Clean Air shows Delhi recorded highest PM particulate matter smaller than 10 mm micrometers levels among the 130 cities covered under the center's national clean air program in the financial year. So there is a new report that we get to see. The capital's average PM10 concentration in this period was 4 to 5 times higher than the level recommended by WHO. So we get to see what we have at present, what the latest data says. It says that we have 4 to 5 times higher, not we, but the city. Okay. Theme challenges of pollution, increasing number of PM10 is health hazardous, improve air quality in order to tackle pollution. In a nutshell, yes, these are the things mentioned. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Most of Delhi's 40 pollution monitoring stations are located in residential areas. The author is saying that there is no proper data collected, or maybe when the data is collected, the method is not proper. It's no rocket science that they should be placed in industrial areas, commercial areas, traffic conjunctions, and other crowded regions. So here, author is saying that the location of these monitoring stations, this is not apt. Similarly, tackling PM10 is among the less difficult aspects. It's not that difficult tackling the PM10 of Delhi's pollution predicament. These particles tend to settle faster than the smaller ones, making it easier for them to be trapped by filtration systems. So again, the author is reasoning with something technical that PM10 particles को settle करना, it's easier than working with the smaller ones. Road dust makes up nearly 60% of these larger pollutants, and basic municipal services can remove this hazard at source. So he is suggesting that this can be easily solved. According to a study conducted by what or whom? So conducted by the researchers at IIT Delhi, for instance, filling potholes, road के गड्ढों को potholes बोलते हैं, fixing unpaved roads, कच्ची रोड को पक्का रोड बनाओ, and clearing garbage dumps. 3 suggestions here can reduce cities' pollution by 15 to 25%. So these are the simple actions. By doing them, it is giving a lot of difference. And the use of water spray and windbreakers की, because of wind, when the pollutants are scattered in the air, so to make some kind of a barrier where the dust particles don't get to like travel to larger miles, to larger areas like that, to ensure the construction materials such as sand don't get dispersed. This can improve air quality by as much as 50%. छोटा steps लेके we can do a lot. So here are some suggestions by him, by the author. For much of the UP government's tenure, municipal services were one of the casualties in the conflict between cities' elected government and the representative, the lieutenant governor. So, because of the politics, in a way, municipal services suffered a lot. One of the casualties, okay, they were not able to do well. And this is something which author has said earlier that municipal services achhi ho jaye, so a lot of pollution could be controlled. The problem also is, as shown by studies, author is now, giving a disclaimer. It is not what I say, but as per the studies, the government officials do not always appreciate the gravity of pollution problem. So he's saying that government officials are not that much interested in giving priority to this problem. Now that Delhi has a double engine sarkar, the two BJP led governments will have to walk the talk on pollution. Walk the talk means you do as you say. They don't have much time to lose, and there is, like, a mild warning at the end. अभी ज़्यादा समय बचा नहीं है. They need to act now on the promises they made. So he is also making an appeal, saying something, conveying a message to the present government there as well. Okay. Delhi's air quality crisis, a call for action and effecting monitoring. Yes, Deepak, this is what we get to see here. So, author is definitely of the suggestion here that certain things which are, of course, easy to follow can help us a lot, up to 50%, as much as 50%. We can deal with the pollution just by understanding the right mechanism and following the things. But the whole thing is, it's not something just any normal person can do. Government has to step in and fulfill the promise. He started with talking about that new government has listed up this control as a priority concern, and at the end also he's reminding them that now is the time you do as you promised. So this is what we get to see from the passage. Okay, so we'll go through some vocabulary, and after that I will ask some grammar questions. Devising is to create or plan something carefully. Okay, it's like a formulation of something, yojana banana. See guys, devising and planning are different things. Okay, strategy jab lagai jati, when we put some strategy framework into something, that's called devising. Let's say I have planned to visit mall tomorrow. Okay, I just planned it that tomorrow I have some extra time and I would like to visit a mall. Now it is not devising. Okay, devising, first of all, it's used in a negative context where carefully a negative plan is made, okay, to hurt someone, or for some negative purpose. Second, devising is a lot of maths, a lot of formulation, designing this way or that way, methodically बहुत कुछ होता है. That kind of planning is devising. So please don't get confused with the context of the word given here. Paper over is a word, it's a phrase, and it means to cover a problem without resolving it, just putting under the rug. हमने तो छुपा दिया, आग बंद कर ली, प्रॉब्लम है, हमने उसको किसी और दूसरी चीज में कंसील कर दिया. ऊपर से ढक देना, छिपाना. Gloss over is another phrase meaning of this phrase. Abdication, failure to fulfill a responsibility, पीछे हट जाना, जिम्मेदारी से, पोजीशन से, promises से, to neglect or dereliction. Okay. Dispensation talks about a particular government or system in place, that is a regime. एक प्रकार का शासन जो है उसे हम dispensation कहेंगे. Particulate matter, if you are writing anything that relates to pollution, any essay or any answer, this is a term related to this domain. You must know this, that they are the tiny solid liquid particles in the air, gaseous form को छोड़ के दूसरे जो particles होते हैं, and they cause pollution. उनको particulate matter बोलते हैं, pollutants को. Okay, करणीय पदार्थ. Potholes are the holes in the road surface. Road damage, गड्ढे. Windbreakers are the barriers that block wind to prevent dust dispersal. Some kind of shield or barrier that we put so that air can flow, but the particulates along with air cannot pass through. So that's what it is. Double engine सरकार एक term दी थी यहाँ पर. Okay, so it's coordinated government. Now there are some political parties ruling state and the center as well, which is happening in the case of Delhi. तो इसको डबल इंजन सरकार बोलते हैं, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. Walk the talk is to act on what one says. If you tell me today, man, we are going to study 8 hours daily from today onwards, and then I find you are just putting maybe hardly 1 to 2 hours in studying, okay, for any reason. So you're not walking the talk. So बातें बड़ी बड़ी लेकिन काम है नहीं, okay? That is not walking the talk. And when you walk the talk, जो अब बड़ी बातें करी उसको फुलफिल भी कर रहे हो, delivering what you have said, बातों पर अमल करना. Casualty is victim or something that is harm. Any kind of loss, कोई भी victim हो, नुकसान हो, it is a casualty. That's why we have casualty section in the hospitals, if you have noticed. If something happens, any kind of accident, any kind of complaint, सबसे पहले वहाँ लेकर जाया जाता है, okay? Gravity of the problem. This is a very nice way to talk about how serious the problem is. You know, the choice of words here, this phrase here. Gravity of the issue, gravity of the challenge, gravity of the problem. Now, this is not, of course, earth gravity something, but it's the seriousness of anything. Of the के बाद जो भी उसकी seriousness, severity, magnitude. Okay? So now it's time for me to ask some question. Let me see how well you remember grammar rules. Okay? Okay. So I want you to give me part of speech of this word. Part of speech of the word that I have encircled. It's a noun. Okay? Next one. I want you to tell me subject and verb, main subject and verb of this sentence and also of this another sentence. I'll mark both the sentences for you. So the first answer that you give me should be of the first sentence, the locations of air quality monitoring stations, this one. And second answer, maybe you can use some dot 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 and give me the subject and verb of this next sentence. So there are two sentences. I want you to tell me the subject and respective verb of them. Give me both the things, subject and verb, helping and main verb together, okay, like the whole verb set. For the first one, the answer is locations. First noun of my sentence, that's my subject. Locations kiski thi, kahan thi, where. Okay. For instance is helping us. This is an adverbial phrase that's for the whole sentence. The locations did not fulfill. This is the verb part. Because I'm using did, I'm using fulfill, which is verb first form. And the sentence is in simple past tense. Okay. For the first sentence, it's like this. Next one. See, why we are doing this spotting, Because in exam, if you don't know where to look you won't be able to figure out the error if present or not. Next one, report is your subject. Now to explain the subject, there are more words added. The report, consi, which was discussed in the assembly in the first week of this month. This extension has nothing to do with my verb agreement. Report is singular, first noun of my sentence, and that's why notes as per the subject is my verb. Now this is something which is in present. तो simple present tense में s लगता है verb के साथ. There you go. Okay. I hope this is clear now. Okay. Um, there is a rule recap for all of you. Whenever we use this, it takes a singular noun after it. Also, we can see higher is used because we are comparing something, and THA and then is used over here. Okay. आगे बढ़ते हैं. More questions, 2-3 more questions, and then we will move to other things. Okay. Part of speech for this word. An adjective. Okay, make usually takes adjective. Make them happy. Why are you making her cry? Make can also take verb, okay, by the way. But most of the time make is something you are doing on, like you are describing किसी को कैसा कर दिया. So this time it is adjective. And my next question to you all, much का use किसके लिए हुआ है? For which word I'm using this adjective much? Not adjective in this case, but kind of an adjective. But tell me, much is used for which of the words here? Very good. For the tenure. Okay. Much of the tenure. Tenure here is tenure can act as countable and uncountable both. In this case, it's acting uncountable, hence much of. अगर यहाँ पे टेन्योर्स होता, मल्टीपल टेन्योर्स अगर होते सेम गवर्नमेंट के, सो हम मैनी सम कुछ भी बोल सकते थे. बट एट दिस टाइम वी आर जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द सिंगल टेन्योर दे हैड एज पर द पैसेज कॉन्टेक्स्ट, हेंस मच. ओके, चलो we'll go through the summary before you start answering the question. So summary is like so: Delhi's new government must urgently address air pollution. A CAG report revealed air quality monitoring was based on faulty data. We got to see there was the report based on which we can see that mislocation or mislocated stations were the problem. Also got to know about PM10 levels, which were 4 to 5x higher than WHO limits. Then we got to see some solutions. Road dust and poor municipal services are major causes. So if we work on them, they are fixable. So these basic steps like road repairs, construction site management, garbage clearance can help. Studies from different places show pollution can be reduced by 15 to 50% through simple interventions. Nothing much is to be done, but just the government needs to focus on the problem of pollution, which they have not been doing till now. With both center and state now under BJP, a double engine government has no excuse to delay the real action. अब तो काम करना चाहिए. That's what is the summary of it. So for essays and all, what you can get, the extinction and the ethics. Okay, sorry, not this one. This is of the previous session. Pardon me, I'll give you the topics in a while. Please start doing the questions. Do the question number 1, okay? The essay topics, I made a session on something that related to wildlife conservation in the previous session. वो उसके हैं, ये वाले chapter के, ये वाले passage के नहीं है. So please go ahead, do the objective question number 1. Let's see how much do you remember. After discussing so much, you read it once, I explained it once, and I asked you questions also on it. Yes, the monitoring stations are not stationed properly. They are not located at the places where ideally they should be. So answer is C. Next one. This is a very simple practice, but then trust me, this will help you retain facts in your mind. Retain a lot of data from the given article, and that you can use later on in your essays and all. Don't be discouraged, Deepak. This is just an opinion. I know, of course, the problem of pollution is there, but then this is one of the opinions we have from the editor of the newspaper. Sometimes they get over dramatic, also. We cannot do anything about it. So just stay encouraged. Maybe the new government will do something about it. Answer to this one is 4 to 5 times higher. This is what I also read in the summary just 2 minutes back. Next one. I know this could be sad, but if I would have taken editorials from the Hindu newspaper today, it would have been sad. I mean, this is all about politics. I was not in the mood to discuss politics. Again, same question in different format. Sometimes you get the similar thing in exam as well. So inaccurate AQI due to poorly located stations. Uh, Next. Of course, PM10. इतना तो आपने टर्म सीख ही लिया है. Next one. After this, we have error detection questions. Small ones, just to make sure you are able to spot errors and correct them. D is your answer. The term given is double engine sarkar. There you go. That's your first error detection question. Okay. If you can give me, if you feel something is wrong, please give me the correction or at least point out the wrong word. I can't see any of you answering. This is an interesting question, so I'm going to give you a few seconds more. Is it so? Absolutely right. No error. The new government of Delhi. Specific government hai of Delhi, so the is all good to go. Has promise. Government singular है तो has आएगा. To tackle. To plus verb first form. What? The pollution issue. Okay. With what? With urgency and priority. And utmost is top पे urgent matter में से एक है. So this is your adjective, noun and noun. Everything is good to go. Okay. E. If you still have any doubt, ma'am, how is this word used? I think or I thought this should not be there. You can ask in the comments. Okay. Others can start doing the second one. Answer, please. Answer here is the places कैसे होगा? Delhi's AQI was calculated or based on insufficient data. Why? Due to what? The fact. What is the fact? That monitoring stations were improperly placed. Now this is the use of passive voice. So यहाँ places नहीं placed आना था. Yeah. I want you to give me, if you find any error, then you give me the correction that is applicable here. And if you think there is no error, then of course you don't have to do anything, just answering. Come on, guys. Quick. Can you give me the correction? Answer is C. And the correction is use. IIT Kanpur's research recommended. Recommended what? What के answers हमेशा noun होते हैं. Recommended vertical covering, noun nahi tha, so we used a gerund. That is the first thing, first recommendation. Covering of construction areas and use of. Now, use is a word which is used as a verb and noun as well. So, we are using the noun form here. Recommended covering and recommended use of windbreakers to prevent sand dispersion. So, second noun and के बाद में आएगा. Use is the right form of it. using को हटाना पड़ेगा. We can use the word using if I want a gerund or if I want to write anything in continuous tense, but this is not the case here. So instead of using of, I have to change it into use of, where use is used as a noun. Answer to this one is C, because we are talking about government. So the former government used the complexity of the problem to justify, it is singular na. So it's आएगा without apostrophe, in action on multiple fronts. And the last question. There you go. Okay, this one is interesting. Now please understand. The WHO has recommended PM10 levels to be kept well below. Okay. Now to be kept and recommended PM10 is not what we can say here. Okay, we have to change the phrase, because this is a recommendation for us about PM10. It is not a recommendation for PM10 itself. तो यहाँ पे ये चेंज होगा. It will be the WHO has recommended that PM10 levels be kept. Okay, to be kept नहीं होगा. That's the wrong phrase to be used. यहाँ पर we will call it a syntax error, because it won't convey the meaning we want to be conveyed. So it's something that is a message for us, a recommendation for us about PM10, and that's why the WHO has recommended what? That PM10 levels be kept so and so. Okay, so I hope now you have a good idea of other things as well. So that's it. Thank you so much. I'll be meeting you guys tomorrow 8 p.m.